Is music an art or a science? This is a surprisingly controversial question, so let's walk through it. And there are basically two schools of thought. The first one is that music is purely an art form. It's about expressing emotion and passion. These people feel that music is all about feelings. The other perspective is that it's a blend of both art and science, that music is a mix of subjective artistry and objective logic founded on certain patterns and principles of sound. I've never heard anyone say that it's just science, so these are really the two main views, that it's just art or that it's both art and science. Now, the people on the art-only side are naturally more emotional about this idea since it's all about emotions and feelings for them, and I think that the reason for this view is understandable. Because music is unlike any other art form, since music is sound and sound is invisible, so it seems more ethereal and mysterious than, say, painting or dance or architecture, which are all more tangible and concrete. So it's easier to see the underlying structure of the Mona Lisa, for example, or to picture the science of a cathedral, or to accept the geometry behind ballet, because these are visual art forms, so the blend of art and science is more apparent. But since music is invisible, where the sounds are formed freely without any perceptible structure, or so it's assumed, the thought that it's also informed by a science of patterns is borderline sacrilege to some people. Until you can actually see sound, that is, which is the very definition of music theory. Since the word theory comes from the Greek theoria, which means to look at, view, or see. And using color, the underlying symmetry and geometry of notes and intervals becomes clear, so that you can see and use these patterns to play scales, modes, chords, and progressions to make music. So yes, music is both an art and a science because there's an underlying structure and science to it, but it's also definitely an art because the way that you compose and combine these patterns takes an aesthetic sensibility. It's not a mechanical, sterile process. Music is an art and a science. And I know that's off-putting to some people, and why it's controversial in the first place, because the idea of acknowledging the logical side of music can seem unwelcome to some people. But as Leonardo da Vinci once said, to develop a complete mind, study the science of art, study the art of science, learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. And in songwriting, music theory is the science behind the art. It doesn't stunt creativity as some people assume. In fact, I used to think that too. Music theory actually helps you to express ideas more clearly. It doesn't take away the emotion. The emotion you feel is just more expression and connection and less frustration in trying to communicate your ideas. So yeah, music is a blend of both art and science, and it's beautiful.